every pro no, every no that you give should lead to multiple yeses.
Well, and I think a lot of times people don't realize that no is a complete sentence, right? Like that is a hard line boundary. It's something that it took me forever to figure out.
There is so much growth that happens when you allow yourself to step away from, and why do you say yes to all of those things that may not align with you? And when you examine it and realize that it's to meet the expectations that other people have for you, to serve their agenda, their purpose, their plan for their business, their life, their finances at your expense.
What is it that's been holding me back? What am I not doing well? What am I challenged with, or whatever the case may be? Because that's not always the easiest part. We lie to ourselves more than we lie to anybody else in our lives. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified. I am your host, Jax or Jacqueline Crider. And today we have Miss Christy Mo. I almost said it wrong. And she is an awesome friend and colleague and is just really, really passionate about coaching in the entrepreneurial women's space. I'm going to let her tell you guys a little bit about who she is, what she does, and why she's excited to be on the show today. Welcome, Christy.
Thank you so much, Jax. I am thrilled to be here. And as the founder and owner of Cohesive Confidence, my true passion has been replicating my journey, honoring what it took to get here, and empowering other women who are living in a state of identity crisis and confusion when it comes to their personal and professional connections. How do they show up as their authentic self, creating opportunity, happiness, joy, and their own cohesive confidence from business and brand strategy standpoint. Also expanding that brand identity strategy into the color analysis world, where I get to help women discover the colors that elevate their face, their beauty for less and still be their best. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here, and I can't wait for our topic today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and Christy and I both have, I joke that we're kind of like recovering mortgage people or whatever. She was actually in my space as well for a long, long time. So we've got a wide depth on the financial piece, and I like her and not just dealing with mortgage anymore. I'm also, well, and she's not dealing with mortgage at all, but I'm also dealing with some of the coaching aspect as well, because we are super passionate about helping women succeed in the financial space. Men, we love you too, and you're more than welcome to succeed with us, but women have a little more of my heart. I think Christy's too. So let's get into it. I know that we wanted to talk a little bit. I mean, now we are in 2025. Can you believe it? Here we are. It crept up on me a little quicker than I was thinking it would, but that's okay. And everybody around this time of year, everyone's asking themselves what kind of resolutions they have, where they want to go, right? People are in heavy goal setting mode. And so this is a great opportunity for us to talk a little bit about goal setting for your business, for your personal life, things like this. Because anybody who's listening to the show knows that I am all for you doing what resonates with you, as long as you are intentional about whatever that is. And I think Christy can also speak to intention, especially in business, right?
Absolutely. I can't even think back or count the number of times I came into the new year with this excitement of, I want to do these things, without a single idea of how to do it. You want this result to be so different than it was before, but what are you doing differently to make that the result? And allow those things to happen. Absolutely. The misnomer is that you have to exude this higher level of energy to create a higher level of response and results. And that's not, it's not true at all. I started in 2023, left retail lending, came over to the wholesale channel after an extensive grief journey where, I lost 7 people and my 16-year-old dog within 15 months, and really ended up rebuilding myself, re-identifying what I truly wanted, and the power of purpose and vulnerability presented itself so that I could do so unapologetically. I didn't have anything to prove to anyone. I simply wanted to create joy and live in that space for myself. So I left retail, came over into wholesale lending, told myself, you know what, I'm going to give it a good year and see how things go, only to discover that in August, my mother was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and that shifts everything a little bit differently as well. But not only did I jump into wholesale in January of 23, I launched a skincare line in March of 23, became a copywriter, and pursued a certificate in business strategy, started developing my brand strategy program, and fast forward to 2024, I came into January with this audacious goal of six-figure income generating activities. And in February, 4 weeks later, my mother was diagnosed as terminal. And wow. When you are faced with loving someone audaciously, and it's not, that wasn't even my word of the year, it was flourish, but being very intentional about showing up and being present and moving closer to her, I relocated from 4 hours south of North Dallas and ended up completely shifting my mindset and pursuing things that truly made me happy, and ultimately led me to leaving the mortgage space in November. So all of these intentions that you set up in January, while they are laying a foundation for how you move through your year, you have to create some flexibility in how that continues to show up, and maybe it's going to show up differently. And for me, that shift was truly getting my priorities in place and creating strategies to continue to build and compound success, both personally, professionally, and financially.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, and what an incredible story, right? That is, like, of just kind of how you got there. I think so many people, when they think about goals, it's like we know we need to have one, so we slap something up there and we haven't really thought through the steps that we need to take to get there, right? We haven't broken down the pieces. We just slap something out there and then we pray to God that we're going to figure it out. And the truth is that, like you said, there is going to potentially be some shifting that has to transpire, right? In the course and the process of what you lay out, and life happens like it did for you. But if you aren't sort of not only establishing like where you want to go, how you want to handle that, but then also stepping back and asking yourself, what are the little pieces to get me there? Then what's going to happen is, like most other, goals that sometimes, or resolutions that people set out for themselves, you're going to get there for a month or month and a half, and then you're just going to flame out, right? Or when life happens, like what was happening with you, it's not going to be a strong enough why or a strong enough goal or strong enough pieces that you're going to want to continue to propel and moving yourself forward. So what is it that you feel like kind of kept you down that path, right? Like kept you moving forward on a trajectory where your goals were strong enough and your pieces were strong enough that you knew that regardless of all these life changes and things that were transpiring, you still were able to stick the path and meet what you wanted to accomplish, right? And get to where you are right now.
Absolutely. A lot of that is taking advantage of the right things, saying yes to the things that serve you. And I have a term in my business and building out my glossary right now, but this term is probably living at the top, that I have created and live in a pro-no environment. I am all about the power of no. Pro-no doesn't mean saying no to things all the time, but it's saying no to the things that distract you from or keep you away from everything that you should say yes to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so every no that you give should lead to multiple yeses.
Well, and I think a lot of times people don't realize that no is a complete sentence, right? Like that is a hard line boundary. It's something that it took me forever to figure out, because I was always the person that fixed everything, that solved all the problems. And in a way, like that does give you some comfort and some, self-esteem when you're able to do some of the things, but then it also gives you overwhelm. Like you said, you're not able to say yes to the right things because you've already said yes to so many other things. You can't get to where you need to be. And it's
absolutely.
It's a hard lesson, and you're right, it's something that is absolutely needed to be learned and executed on, right?
Definitely. There's so much growth that happens when you allow yourself to step away from, and why do you say yes to all of those things that may not align with you? And when you examine it and realize that it's to meet the expectations that other people have for you, to serve their agenda, their purpose, their plan for their business, their life, their finances at your expense. And being able to step back from that and choose your purpose, choose your bank account is never anybody else's power that should drive the way that you move through your life.
For sure.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Imagine having the power to control your financial destiny, no matter where you start. Welcome to the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform, where financial education is tailored to your unique journey. We cover everything you need, from basic budgeting and saving strategies to advanced investing and retirement planning. Learn at your own pace with lessons that match your level of experience. Whether you're a beginner or looking to enhance your financial knowledge, join our community of learners and benefit from shared insights and expert guidance. The Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform equips you with the skills and confidence to take charge of your financial future. Ready to master your finances? Enroll in our courses today at the Financial Mastery Simplified course and resource platform. Start your path to financial independence now.
Visit us at fms.tips and fms.college for more information.
Hello and welcome to PBJ Mortgage, where your home ownership dreams become reality. Today, we want to share why choosing PBJ Mortgage is the right choice for your home financing needs. At PBJ Mortgage, we're built on a foundation of values that drive us every day. Our commitment to educate, empathize, and empower our clients sets us apart in the mortgage industry. Our clients are at the heart of everything we do, and their success stories speak volumes. With years of experience, our team possesses in-depth knowledge of the mortgage programs, ensuring you receive expert guidance and the best possible rates. We offer a diverse range of loan options to suit your unique needs, including conventional, FHA, VA, and more. No matter your situation, we've got a solution. At PBJ Mortgage, we pride ourselves on providing personalized service. Our dedicated loan officers are here to guide you every step of the way, making the process as smooth as making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We understand that time is of the essence, which is why we've streamlined our processes for efficiency and convenience. Transparency and clear communication are paramount. You'll always know where you stand throughout your mortgage journey. Reach out to us today to set up a call to discover your options. If you're ready to make your home ownership dreams a reality, contact PBJ Mortgage today. Let us empower you during this exciting journey. Phone number 4-693-733-107 www.pbjteam.com. Visit our website or give us a call to get started. We look forward to helping you secure your future home. PBJ Mortgage, where home begins.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
Well, and I think so many people don't realize that either. Women especially, like I think we have a bad habit of getting our identities wrapped up in our relationships, our children, being that person who always says yes and whatnot. And I had to I woke up roughly 2 years ago when I turned 40 and I was just like, nope. Here's my hands. I'm over it. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to just constantly, pour into people to pour into people. Like I am going to know that no is a complete sentence and start creating some hardline boundaries. But that's hard. And people don't realize that from a financial aspect, it is not behooving you to do things that are not serving you, right? That are not serving your goals, you're serving your higher purpose, right? Whether it be in business, in your personal life, etc. And if you're not taking the steps to create this construct of boundaries and knowing exactly what you want, people, I think, believe that that's a selfish thing, but it's not. Think about how many people, whether it is a professional or a personal situation, you are helping by saying no to the wrong things and yes to the right ones. But it's easier said than done too, right?
Absolutely. It's so funny how much confidence you create when you start recognizing that your no does hold power. And
Right.
I had a girlfriend who I highly respect, I collaborate with on a regular basis, reach out to me not too long ago, and she had an invitation for me to be her guest to this workshop and business summit that was a 2-day summit with empowering women entrepreneurs. And those are my ideal clients, right? I want to work with women who want to elevate their entrepreneurial mindset and identity. And she said, this is the room for you. You definitely should be here. I know you're going to vibe with these women. It's going to be great. And I looked at the calendar, and I also looked up the event that she was referring me to. And I had actually sought out engagement from this group probably 10 months before, had a conversation with one of the founders about a coaching opportunity. And ultimately I was like, this is not my group. And when I saw that her invitation was to be reconnected there, and I was in a different place 10 months ago than I am now, but that same emotion and the premise of those are not my people. And so I got to say, hey, you know what? Thank you so much for thinking about me, but I'm not going to be able to attend. My calendar is actually already booked for today and tomorrow. If you see any other opportunities for me to connect with other groups in the future, please let me know. And I got done with that text message and I was like, oh my gosh, I just said no. And that felt amazing. It feels so good when you know that you're saying no and why, and that you're actually protecting your boundaries and your space and your intentions and the direction that you're moving forward.
Right. But that also goes back to, again, that intentional goal setting, right? Be it monetary or personal goals, etc. Because if you're not laser clear on that, you're also not going to know what you should be saying no and yes to. Because that's the other challenge, right? Is that for a long time too, I was not as intentional as I should be. Like, I knew what my really big overarching goal is. I always tell people all the time, my personality, I'm super good at the 10,000 foot view, right? But because I'm ADHD, when I get down here to the right in front of you view, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's too many things. I'm so overwhelmed. And so then I do end up saying yes, thinking maybe that's right. No, I don't know. And it's like you're kind of pushing back and forth. And so it is super important to have done a little bit of that digging and understanding what the steps are so that you can know, because you knew that those were not your people, right? Like that, maybe you weren't their cup of tea, they weren't your cup of tea, a little bit of both, right? And so yeah, but if you don't, again, have not only the big 10,000 square foot view, but some of those little steps that you have to start taking in the right direction, again, financially, personally, whatever that looks like for you, you're not going to achieve what you need to achieve, right? I mean, it's no different than working out at the gym. Like, I know nothing about working out at the gym, but if I have certain goals, like maybe I need a personal trainer, maybe I don't, right? Maybe I need to enroll in this class, maybe I don't. There's tons of choices. I can do any of those choices, right? But I got to know, like, okay, this is my goal. What are the steps underneath it that I have to take to climb there, to get there?
Yeah. I picked up a book and just launched a book club within my private Facebook community, fully intentional, believing that leaders are readers and readers are leaders. That goes two ways. But the book that I'm reading now in my book club is The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. Nice. She's the creator of Grey's Anatomy, How to Get Away with Murder, like all of these really great Scandal. She is a whole vibe in herself. Everything she creates, people flock to because it is absolutely authentic and relatable creation and conversation. Now, the reason that she wrote the book was that she was living in a space of no. Like, it was no to everything because she was so overwhelmed with everything that was going on that she took herself out of opportunities to achieve future goals. And her sister, she wrote the book because her sister in 2013 at Thanksgiving said, you say no to everything. When are you going to start saying yes? And ultimately, she ended up saying yes to delivering the commencement speech at a college graduation. She ended up on Jimmy Kimmel. She ended up with all of these other opportunities that started to be attracted to her authentic. She didn't have to go look for anything. But because she had created all of these things that aligned with her vision and her goals for her success, she was attracting the right things to say yes to and still holding her boundaries by saying no to the things that do not.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get to the other side of this book and see exactly where she lands and what that journey has been like for her from a mental and physical standpoint. So
that's awesome. No, I love that. And I agree with you. Readers are leaders. I not horribly long ago, I encountered somebody and they told me that they the reason it took them so long to get back to me on something was because that was the very first book they'd read in 10 years. And I was like, so taken aback. I was like, wait a minute, what? This is the first book you read in 10 years. I probably read 10 books a year. So it was just so odd to me. I mean, he was like, yeah, it's the first book I've read in 10 years. And I was like, woof. I don't know how you haven't read a book. I was actually going to mention earlier when we were talking a little bit about women and not always, wanting maybe to say yes to the wrong things, etc. A lot of times, have you ever read the book Lean In?
No, but I'll have to put it on my list.
It's a super good book. And it talks a lot about how sometimes women don't succeed in the way that they should because they're afraid to lean in or to put themselves out there or to basically try to force the issue or say yes to the things that are above what they feel like their qualifications are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's like so many people, they think and believe like, oh, well, I don't meet every checklist on the sheet, right? So I can't get that or whatever, right? Well, as you know, in mortgage, right? Sometimes we don't have to meet every checklist on the sheet to still get the person the house, right? Like we can kind of create creative solutions, etc. I mean, same with anything in life, right? And so it's crazy to me that women are like that, but it's true. And I don't know, you probably know more about this than I do because, obviously cohesive confidence is the name of your brand and what you're doing. I sometimes wonder if it is a lack of confidence that women hold in their abilities, right? To just do things, to understand. I mean, it's like with the financial space, right? I got told all the time when I joined the financial space, well, this is a man's world. Basically, what are you doing here? Are you just like the pretty afterthought? I'm like, excuse me? Why? I can't be smart. I can't understand money. That's ridiculous. Like, I have a brain just like a man does. Like, why can I not do mortgage? In fact, I'm wildly more successful than a lot of men in our space because I am really good at what I do and I understand it really, really well. But it's just interesting concept that women a lot of times don't find that confidence, whether it be in money and business, etc. And I'm loving the space that women are really coming into right now with this empowerment and realizing that they are powerful beyond measure.
And I think it's beautiful to piggyback off of that, seeing where women are allowing themselves to be curious about financial opportunities and engagement. And, I have ultimately having the 4 services that I started offering in 2023 and trying to find how I identified them or made an introduction in any professional networking space or even just meeting a friend of a friend, a personal introduction and having to go through this laundry list of services because I wasn't confident in my own identity. I was still trying to figure out who I was post grief and the rediscovery of it all. And then I was challenged in a networking group to introduce myself with my name and what I do without using the name of my company or my job titles. So don't go through and list all of these things. But what is the result of your service to the client? And when my turn came around, I was able to say, my name is Christy Moe, and I help create cohesive confidence.
It's awesome.
Didn't even realize that was going to be the name of my company.
For sure.
At all. Had no intention of ever even contemplating that a year later I would be launching my LLC.
Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this message from our sponsors.
Welcome to Financial Mastery Simplified, your go-to podcast for making smart money decisions. We break down complex financial topics into easy-to-understand advice you can use every day. Our experts cover everything from budgeting and saving to investing and retirement planning. We give you the tools to take control of your money and build the future you want. With Financial Mastery Simplified, you'll feel informed and empowered to make the best choices for your financial health. Tune in to Financial Mastery Simplified on your favorite podcast platform. Start your journey to financial confidence today.
Visit us at fms.tips and fms.college for more information.
Welcome to House U, where we believe in the power of education. At House U, we're more than just a brand. We're your partner in home ownership, dedicated to educating, equipping, and empowering you every step of the way. Education is at the heart of everything we do. We offer comprehensive resources designed to make home ownership simple and accessible for all. From understanding mortgage options to mastering home maintenance, House U provides the knowledge you need to make informed decisions with confidence. We host workshops and seminars, bringing together experts and community members to share insights and build a stronger, more informed community. Because when you're educated, you're empowered. House U, home ownership made simple for all. Visit our website or contact us today to start your journey with House U. Empower yourself with knowledge and embrace the joy of home ownership.
Thanks for your patience. Now back to our conversation.
So in that though, I got curious about how many ways can I create income? And, the 7 streams of income idea around, successful people have 7 streams of income on average. Doesn't mean that we are required to have 7 streams of income.
For sure.
No. But what it does is it gives us permission to seek different ways that we can generate income. And they don't all have to be 6-figure generators.
For sure.
I will tell you, I get just as excited every Friday when I have an affiliate link sending me a monthly payment or weekly payment update. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. And when I look at the end of the year, I've made a couple extra $1,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would I give away that $2,000 or $3,000 or say, yeah, no, I don't need that? Of course I need it. I want it. Bring me more.
No,
Bring
well,
me
and I
more.
mean, I think it is that abundance attitude and realizing that, like I said, when you start creating this container around not only what it is that you want and you have to go really big picture and then also drill down, because some of the big picture goals, they're not going to be instantaneous. I mean, I have been stating a certain number that I was going to hit in revenue for about the last 2 or 3 years. And I have not hit that yet. And I know personally, a lot of that has to do with some of the blocks that I have had to work through personally and challenge kind of my own viewpoints, thoughts, feelings about things, about money, right? I mean, and I tell people all the time, I throw myself under the bus all the time. In the financial space, just because I work in that realm does not mean I have every single bit of it figured out. Right? I might be 1 or 2 steps farther down the path than you, but it doesn't mean that I'm perfect at it. I mean, there is plenty of things that I don't do perfectly. And as I have been working through these blocks, but that is what I'm committed to. I'm committed to working through, figuring out, right? Leveling myself up, meeting other professionals, getting professional coaching, figuring out, okay, how do I move past this, right? How do I figure out? I mean, that I just launched Financial Instincts Framework, and that is basically a coaching program, whereas you're more specific and laser focused on entrepreneurs and helping them grow their journey, right? I'm focused on helping women specifically figure out what are their instincts, right? When it comes to money, because there's all of these rules. And for me, who's ADHD, it's super overwhelming. Like, okay, did I check that box? Oh wait, no. And I got squirreled and I went over here and that didn't work. And so just figuring out, like, how do you drown out the noise, focus down, figure out what your blocks or challenges are, and then figure out the ways to push past them, because there's always a way. There's always a way to create other streams of income. There's always a way to get to your goals, as long as you have that intention, you have that support, and you're seeking out other professionals who are going to help you down that path and that journey.
Absolutely. And it would be absolutely remiss if we were to go and ignore the value of assessment.
For sure.
One of the things I help my clients create are what needs to be looked at on a weekly basis. What strategy do you need to engage or establish for the coming week? When do you do that? How do you set yourself up for success each and every single day? Also looking at what do you need to look at and review for the month? And what does that quarterly review look like? Because if you're going to break down, you have this big picture annual goal of things that you want to achieve. Then you break that year, those 12 months, into quarters. Quarters are broken into months, months broken into weeks, weeks broken into days. And once you are able to truly assess, be honest with yourself, quit allowing excuses that have been told to you, excuses that other people have given you as a hall pass. Get freaking honest with yourself. And stop letting this little itty bitty shitty committee run in your ear telling you all of the things that are okay, that are not okay. But identify these things that allow you to maximize and create the results that you want for your life and your business and your bank account.
For sure. And I think that's so true. I will tell you that I think so many people are afraid to really step into the self-assessment, because it's easy to slap something up there and say, this is my goal. this is what I want. This is my goal, whether it be, again, monetary, personal things, professional things, all the things, right? It's hard when you not only have to drill it down, right, into the little bitty bite-sized chunks, but also ask yourself, why is it that I haven't gotten to where I wanted to be the last time, right? Like, what is it that's been holding me back? What am I not doing well? What am I challenged with, or whatever the case may be? Because that's not always the easiest part. We lie to ourselves more than we lie to anybody else in our lives because we don't want to, feel bad. But the thing that you don't realize is that you may feel bad for that second, right? When you're having to face whatever that is. But then once you started facing it, and once you start shifting the narrative, right? Manifesting and living in abundance and shifting all of that viewpoint, the confidence that comes afterwards far and away will just replicate and expand out in such a huge and powerful way beyond that little bit of uncomfortableness, that feeling of like self-doubt and ickiness that you had to do when you were down the road of self-discovery and asking yourself those hard questions. And so I think a lot of people do not understand that, yes, I will tell you right now, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to feel super nice to like dig back some of the ugly parts of your life and the things that you maybe haven't been doing perfectly. But without the self-awareness, like you said, there's no way you're going to get to exactly where you need to be, because you can't break it out and you can't overcome the things and you can't overcome all of those blocks. And so you just have to recognize and realize you just have to do it.
Yeah, I have a weekly accountability call that happens every Friday morning, Zoom, and it's all women, and we gather and speak out, I'm writing down every single person's contribution, but we list out 3 goals, and we create weekly goals around self and wellness care for the week, our
Nice.
home and family goal for the week, and then a business goal for the week. And the reason that we do these things is we want to create a cohesive flow and balance across all areas of our life so we can ensure that we're engaged through and through, not ignoring family time, recognizing what's important on a weekly basis. And those things are adjustable, and they're a good way to kind of reel it back in, because we can get distracted by all of my phone is over here like blowing up, but and I see it out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, no, not right now. I'm turning you over. But when I have someone on that call who's telling me that they are, and I've done it, I need to tidy up my bedroom, and they've had it on that list for 3-4 weeks.
Right.
Like, okay, you've said that you've wanted to do this for 4 weeks, but you haven't done diddly squat to make it happen.
Right.
So that's on you. But let's take it back a second. What is one thing that you are going to commit to do in your bedroom that gets you closer to the goal of tidying the whole room? And let's write that one thing down. And when you break down small bites of a big piece of pie, you ultimately end up eating more.
For sure.
You can't eat the whole pie at once. You've got to take these little bites and compound those wins over and over and over again. And you get to enjoy the result of the pie when it's all said and done.
And it's not easy to do, but we make excuses all the time. Like, it's so funny, until I got pushed into this place where I really legitimately did not have much time, much time for myself, not much time for dang near anything, because of all the things that I have going on in my personal and professional life. Did I realize how much we really make excuses for it? Because I had to like laser focus and really reorganize and get creative on like how to use my time. And somebody asked me not horribly long ago, well, Jax, you have so much stuff going on. How is it that in the last year you wrote a book? Like, how did you accomplish that, right? Like, this was like this big, huge task. And I said, I just decided I was going to do it. And whenever I had any free moment in time, I forced myself to do the hard and just get creative. So I would talk into my phone, the book, right? I would, whatever it took, basically, right? I had decided I was going to do it. And so a lot of times it's not only just like that intention of the fact that you want to do it, but you're going to have to back it up, and you're going to have to literally give yourself the drive. Like, and for me, I don't know if this is effective for you, Chrissy, but for me, a lot of times I have to make it a game, right? It's a game of like, how quickly could I do it? Or how great could I do it? You know what I mean? And so like my brain and myself want to do the boring task. Cause like you were talking about tidying up your room. I'm pretty sure that that is always me because my ADHD likes to avoid seeing the mess. And so then I'm like, man, I've been meaning to deal with this room for I don't even know how long. And you're right. You have to, like, the way I have to clean my room, honestly, is I have to say, okay, I'm going to take 15 minutes every single day and I'm going to clean up just for 15 minutes, right? So great, set a timer, right? How much stuff can I get done in 15 minutes? And I'm running around and organizing things and doing all of the stuff. But that's something that is effective for me. Because if you ask me to sit there and do 2-3 hours of cleaning, which is maybe what it's going to take to get it to the level it needs to be, I'm going to shut down. I'm going to get so overwhelmed. I am going to look at it and be like, this is not what I want to be doing. And I'm going to find 400 other things that are more interesting that I can do.
Yeah.
But it has to get done.
Yeah. I have mine broken down into zones. So one week, my goal was to create zones. Like, okay, I have my office corner. I have my skincare and gift corner. I have my bathroom corner. I have my clothes. Like, this is the clean space. Nothing goes here ever, because I know that's where I will feel less stress.
Right.
And everything has its place. Just like on my calendar, I use colored erasable pens on my paper planner, because if I ever lost my phone, I wouldn't have anything to look at. And honestly, it just makes me happy to have that calendar on my desk. But I allow those things, and I'm like, what's going to make me happy? I'm not organizing any of my bedroom for anybody else.
Right.
I don't organize my business for anybody else. So no matter what you need to get straight, and here we are, beginning of 2025, right? There's a lot of resources being thrown at you that everybody wants you to use them, or click this, sign up for this email list, get on this promo text thread, or whatever it is. And before you sign up for those things, ask yourself, where does this bring me value?
Right.
And if you only need it for a moment, then experience and allow yourself to enjoy that moment, and then let it go.
Yeah, that's so valuable.
You're not
And
obligated to everything for forever.
yeah, that's for dang sure. And this has been such an amazing, like, valuable conversation. I hope that the listeners have taken a lot. I mean, as we, like I said, enter 2025, that is always one of the bigger topics, right? Is goals, resolutions, and again, personal business, you know, things surrounding money, things surrounding your personal life, and all of the above. And so we hope that, you know, these insights have provided you some clarity and some next steps on ways that you can ensure that you succeed in your financial life, in your personal life, in your business life, and every possible life, so you can live your life on your terms in a way that resonates with you. I think that Christy may have a special offer to give to our listeners for those of you who maybe are entrepreneurs who are looking for some really laser focused coaching to ensure to get you kind of to that next level. So I'm going to let Christy kind of speak to that and give her last words, thoughts as we close out our episode here.
Absolutely. So I do have a 30-minute discovery call at no charge by booking through my website at cohesiveconfidence.com. And I am offering to anyone in the Financial Mastery community a $25 discount on a 1-hour brainstorm session to help create some clarity and strategy around structuring your business. That's usually a $100 value. I am offering it to anyone in this community for $75 for a 1-hour brainstorm session that you are eligible and allowed to create the permission pieces you need to create your ultimate success going forward.
That's awesome. Yeah, we thank you so much for that. And definitely, guys, for those of you who are listening who have not prescribed or they think coaching is kind of a scam, you know, you hear that a lot of times. Well, why does everybody have a life coach these days? Or why does everybody have a business coach? Well, I will tell you, without those kind of people in your life, Christy's right. The accountability, like, it's just so important. It's so important to find, like I said, the person who's going to resonate with you, who's going to challenge your viewpoints, who's not going to be afraid to help you step into your own and give you permission to be the best version of yourself and the one that is going to succeed on the level that you want to succeed on. So I highly encourage, if it's not myself, on the more personal level, or Christy on the more entrepreneurial level or whatever, find your coach in 2025, right? Find who is going to help hold you accountable to make sure that you can break down those goals into itsy bitsy pieces and figure it out, right? I mean, because it's so important. I can't stress enough. Because like I said, if you listen to this podcast at all, that our goal at Financial Mastery Simplified is that we want you to live your life on your terms. And you're only going to do that, and you're only going to succeed at the level I know you could succeed at if you're willing to put in that work, if you're willing to be intentional and get to exactly where you want to be. So thank you so much, Christy, for being our guest today. And I hope this episode has been helpful for you. And we will see you back next week on another episode of Financial Mastery Simplified.